Well, here we are at Gary's house, and we've been playing, as you can see, Clans of Caledonia. And we're going to start with Jason and his thoughts.
Hello there, hi. This is Clans of Caledonia. Now this is an intriguing game, so I played it twice now, and I'm going to talk fairly quickly because I was told to do this snappily, or just be snappy. I deliberately chose this start card twice, and it gives you an advantage. You have more merchants at the beginning of the game, which allow you to do more things in the auction and sale room, etc. The market, that's a good word. But it doesn't really come into its own until later on in the game, so I don't know how beneficial that is. However, the whole game, you kind of feel that you've got control and some semblance of, there's lots of opportunities and lots of things that you can do. Don't believe a word of it. It's actually not the case at all. What it comes down to is these little cards here, which are our little, what are these called, Gary?
They're export contracts.
These are export contracts. Now, I don't think I played the game too badly, apart from I didn't notice what Steve was doing here. But the whole game revolved around these things here. So you pick these up and you try and fulfill them as part of your actions by collecting different
produce.
Thank you. I didn't do very well in getting these. Steve got 5, Gary got 4, I got 3. But the key thing about these is all these provide bonuses. So you get a bonus for producing them, fulfilling the most, but then you get another load of bonuses for the various produce like the cotton and the tobacco and the asparagus on the side. And I think this is completely where the game is won or lost. And just because they're older than me and they've got less time, I'm going to pass you over to Steve and Gary now.
Did you enjoy it though, Jay?
It's interesting because I'll say this, even though they said I shouldn't. Both times, well, the first time I thought I knew what I was doing and I came last. The second time I didn't really know what I was doing and I came last. But interestingly, Steve said he didn't know what he was doing and he came first. So who knows?
Well, after that concise,
snappy
rendition of the game, I agree with Jay that the export contracts are incredibly important because they score multiple times, and we even had them scoring in extra time because we had one of the scoring shields which give you bonus points for whatever you fulfilled so far, and it came on the 4th turn, which is quite a way down, so you've probably got at least 3 contracts fulfilled, so that was quite a significant thing. So there's an element of randomness at the end because you don't know which is the most valuable of these export commodities, and you can't control that at all, really.
And you don't know what other people have got either.
But there's the nice thing about the game is that there's a nice area control bit going on, and you've got to balance your decisions about how many workers you put on to earn income, because that's how you get money in order to put, distilleries on, or dairy factories, or even to sort of produce cattle and sheep on the map. And there's something intrinsically very nice of that. A lot of games have got that, Agricola, etc. And so it capitalises on that really nice building feel, but there's a lot of randomness towards the end, and I think that's the only drawback to it. But I've played it 3 times now, although the first time we played it quite wrong in terms of rules, but I've enjoyed each one, even though I lost by a couple of points on this one. Still enjoyed it, and that's the mark of a pretty decent game.
Did you know what you were doing, Gary?
I think I did, actually.
Excellent.
Stephen?
Okay, so I did win, and I moaned throughout the game.
He always does.
I always do. It's a quite a good tactic, I think. But we didn't get off to the best start in that respect because we didn't get the first player chooses last. These things that Jason pointed out earlier. And I had this one, which allowed me to get more of these
2 contracts.
The 2 contracts, which was helpful,
significant,
and
yeah.
significant. And but actually, I would have chosen that first, strangely enough. So I didn't really object when we did it wrong, and I'm plowed on. I think I think it's a good choice, that, because it doesn't seem very advantageous as you're going. But if you can get the site advantage in these areas, it's a big thing. And I did a quick calculation in my head as Gary was talking, and I reckon I got probably, I think, over 60 of my points, and I got 90 odd, came from these, and the bonus I got from those, and this particular tile here. Now, that's 2/3 of the points. Now, perhaps that's a bit extreme because that shield might not have come out, but it still is. It is quite massive, because not only do that as you go through the game, which Jason didn't point out, there are some nice bonuses on these ones as well, which can give you another leap forward. So I don't think it's unrealistic that the game does revolve around these, because in a sense that's what the whole game's about. It's about farming in Caledonia. It's not about capturing land off other people or anything like that. All that comes into it. This is the basis of the game. And I think that what is difficult about it when you've come to it, and perhaps even if you've played it a lot of times, is that there are a lot of flashing lights going on that draw you into other things all the time.
I like that.
But I think if you can keep focused on, can I make things happen? Can I keep getting those, fulfilling these, what do they call these things?
Export contracts.
Export contracts. That's probably your best tack, but there are lots of things you've got to do as you go along. But I do like maps that do this sort of thing where you move around and you close off areas, and I think it's quite nice. It's interplayed rather than being just one type of character. You know, you've got your cheese place there, you've got your men who work in the forests, and the ones who work in the mountains, and then you've got cows, and all that's pretty strong stuff. I think that works really well.
And the board has got about 16 different combinations to it, so you get a different layout.
Yeah,
a lot of times.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think they've thought out a huge amount of elements in the game.
Good quality production of the pieces and the board.
Yeah. You've got these. We didn't play these last time. We got these on the edge of the board, just a little bit of a
bonus
thing, but it draws you to the corners of the board. And I think that's well thought out as a design, because clearly the game otherwise would go straight towards the middle, because whoever's got the biggest settlement will score extra points. So they've thought that out, and I think I'd have to say there isn't a flaw in the game in terms of you're not sitting there saying, "Oh, that doesn't work" or "that doesn't work." I think it all does work, but it's one of those games that I don't think I'm going to come at it next time saying I know how I'm going to play it next time. I think I'm going to be still kind of dotting around and not quite getting my head into place. And I don't think that's too bad, but I'm not sure it draws me into the game in that respect. But that's probably just me.
Thank you very much. And that was Clans of Caledonia.